Hi, you're listening to Chetna. I read books and I make sure that I also upload them so that you can hear me reading it and learn a thing or two about the book. But I don't want to keep you from not buying your own copy of this book, phenomenal book. So I have put the Amazon link in the description. But there are some people in times in life where we don't have the money to buy the book, and you can read the book if you don't have the money to buy it, to gain the knowledge, to make the money you need. But if you do have the money, go for it, buy the hard copy of the book. The link is in the description. Thank you so much. The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Part 1, Vision. Chapter 3, Learn. Continue. Where do you find validation? As I can attest, anybody who fails in a startup can claim that he or she has learned a lot from that experience. They can tell a compelling story. In fact, in the story of IMVU so far, you might have noticed something missing. Despite my claims that we learned a lot from those early months, lessons that led to our eventual success, I haven't offered any evidence to back that up. In hindsight, it's easy to make such claims and sound credible, and you will see some evidence later in the book. But imagine us in IMBU's early months trying to convince investors, employees, family members, and most of all ourselves that we had not squandered our time and resources. What evidence did we have? Certainly, our stories of failure were entertaining, and we had fascinating theories about what we had done wrong and what we needed to do to create a more successful product. However, the proof did not come until we put those theories into practice and subsequently and built subsequent versions of the product that showed superior results with actual customers. The next few months were where the true story of IMVU begins, not with the brilliant assumptions and strategies and whiteboard gamesmanship, but with the hard work of discovering what customers really wanted and adjusting our products and strategies to meet those desires. We adopted the view that our job was to find a synthesis between our vision and what customers would accept. It wasn't to capitulate to what customers thought they wanted or tell customers what they ought to want. As we came to understand our customers better, we were able to improve our products. As we did, the fundamental metrics of our business changed in the early days, despite our efforts to improve the products. Our metrics were stubbornly flat. We treated each day's customer as a new report. We paid attention to percentage of new customers who exhibited product behavior such as downloading and buying a product every day. Roughly the same number of customers who would buy the product, and that number were pretty close to zero despite those many improvements. However, once we pivoted away from the original strategy, things started to change. Aligned with the superior strategy, our product development efforts became magically more productive, not because we were working hard, but because we were working smarter, aligned with our real customer needs. Positive changes in metrics became the qualitative validation that our learning was real. This was critically important because we could show our stakeholders, employees, investors, and ourselves that we were making genuine progress, not deluding ourselves. It is also the right way to think about productivity in a startup, not in terms of how much we are building, but in terms of how much validated learning we've getting for our efforts. For example, in one early experiment, we changed our entire website homepage and product registration flow to replace avatar chat with 3D instant messaging. This new customers were split automatically between two versions of the site. One saw one and half saw the other. We were able to measure the difference in behavior between two groups. Not only were people in the experimental group more likely to sign up for the product, they were more likely to become long-term paying customers. We had plenty of failed experiments too. During one period in which we believed that customers weren't the product because they didn't understand its benefits, we went so far to pay customer service agents to act as virtual tour guides for our customers. Unfortunately, customers who got the VIP treatment were no more likely to become active and paying customers. Even after ditching the IM add-on strategy, it still took months to understand why it hadn't worked. After a pivot and many failed experiments, we finally figured out this insight. Customers wanted to use IMVU to make new friends online. Our customers intuitively grasped something that we were slow to realize. All the existing social products online were centered on customers' real life identity. IMVU's avatar technology, however, was uniquely well suited to help people to get to know each other online without compromising safety or opening themselves up to identity theft. Once we formed this hypothesis, our experiments became much more likely to produce positive results. Whenever we would change the product to make it easier for people to find and keep new friends, we discovered that customers were more likely to engage. This is true startup productivity, systematically figuring out the right things to build. These were just a few experiments among hundreds that we ran week in, week out as we started to learn which customers would use the product and why. Each bit of knowledge we gathered suggested new experiments to run, which moved our metrics closer and closer to our goals. Thank you for listening to the Lean Startup. I will continue to read tomorrow.